August 1, 1944. Supreme Headquarters, Allied Expeditionary Force, Versailles, France. General Dwight D. Eisenhower leans over a large map table, scanning the positions of Allied units in Normandy. Around him, senior staff, British, American, and Canadian officers gather, each studying the same pressing question: how to break out of the hedgerows of Normandy. For 2 months, progress has been painstaking. Every advance is measured in yards, not miles. Casualties continue to mount. German defenses are resolute. Eisenhower knows a decisive move is required, something to lift the stalemate and push into open terrain. General Omar Bradley points to a section of the map. Operation Cobra, he explains, will focus our bomber fleets here, punch a gap through the German lines, and allow our armor to push forward. Eisenhower frowns. And how long before we can exploit that breakthrough? Bradley estimates a week to cover 50 miles. It is slow, but progress nonetheless. At that moment, a British liaison officer enters the room. "Sir, urgent message from Third Army." Eisenhower looks up. Patton's Third Army has just been activated. It is intended to exploit any opening created by the First Army. Eisenhower gestures for the message. He reads it once, then again. His concentration shifts to disbelief. The note is clear. Third Army will advance south toward Brittany, secure the peninsula within 4 days, then pivot east toward Paris, requesting permission to continue as far as fuel allows. Bradley reacts immediately. 4 days? The Brittany Peninsula? That's over 100 miles of contested territory. Eisenhower responds quietly. "I know the distance, but no army can move that fast, the logistics alone." He holds up a hand and picks up the phone. "Get me Third Army headquarters. I need Patton on the line." 2 minutes later, Patton's voice crackles through. "This is Patton. General, I've reviewed your movement plan. You intend to cover 100 miles in 4 days?" Eisenhower affirms. "Through enemy lines with limited fuel against German resistance?" "Also correct," Patton replies calmly. "It is entirely possible. The Germans are in disarray. If we move swiftly, we can reach Brittany before they even realize the breach, but we must act now." Bradley shakes his head in skepticism. "Even if you move that fast, the supply lines—" "Sir, we have a 48-hour window while the Germans are disorganized," Patton interrupts. "If we wait for perfect logistics, we lose it. Give me permission to advance. I'll handle the supplies later." Eisenhower closes his eyes. Military doctrine dictates methodical advance, consolidation before further movement. Patton has never adhered to doctrine. "All right, George," Eisenhower concedes. "Permission granted. But if you run out of fuel and get stranded—" "Third Army out," Patton says, ending the call. Bradley turns to Eisenhower worried. He's going to overextend. He'll run out of fuel and be stuck deep in enemy territory. Eisenhower gazes at the map. Maybe he'll achieve what no one expects. Operation Cobra begins. A massive bombing campaign shatters German defenses. American forces surge through the breach. The First Army advances. Then Patton's newly activated Third Army strikes, moving immediately without waiting for supply lines or flanking units. "Keep moving," Patton commands his division leaders. "If fuel runs out, siphon it from captured German vehicles. If ammunition runs low, use theirs. Just keep moving." The pace astounds his tank commanders. 20 miles the first day, 30 the next, 40 by the third. German forces, still reeling from the initial assault, cannot respond in time. By the moment they identify Third Army's location, Patton has already moved beyond it. Avranches, a key town controlling access to Brittany, is the next target. If Germans hold it, the American advance can be stalled. Patton refuses to wait. Third Army tanks arrive before German reinforcements, and the town falls within hours. "Should we consolidate first?" his staff asks. "No," Patton snaps. "If we consolidate, the Germans regroup. We move now while they're disoriented." Within 48 hours, 3 divisions surge forward across Brittany, advancing so quickly that supply trucks cannot keep up. Back at Chafe, officers stare at the map in disbelief. "This can't be right," one British officer mutters. "It is," confirms the intelligence officer. "Third Army is exactly where the map shows and still moving." At Third Army headquarters, Patton's quartermaster reports a critical shortage. "Sir, fuel will last only 36 hours at current rates." Patton does not hesitate. "Then make it last 36 hours. After that, we take German fuel depots. Reduce fuel to non-combat vehicles, tanks and fighting units get priority. If necessary, every non-essential vehicle walks. This army keeps moving even if I have to drive the tanks myself." Captured German vehicles are pressed into service, and fuel is salvaged from destroyed equipment. Logistics are improvised. It shouldn't work, but it does. An urgent report arrives at Schaeff. The 4th Armored Division has secured Rennes. The 6th Armored Division approaches Brest. Infantry divisions control all major roads in eastern Brittany. Eisenhower approaches the map, coffee in hand. "When was this message sent?" 10 minutes ago, sir," replies an officer. Eisenhower traced the route with his finger over the map. "Good God," he muttered, "he's already there." Bradley, standing nearby, shook his head in disbelief. "We expected this to take at least 2 weeks. How did he do it in 4 days? Eisenhower's answer was quiet. How did he move that fast? Nobody knows. Later that day, he sent a message to Patton. "Congratulations on reaching objectives ahead of schedule. Remarkable achievement. However, fuel is critically low. Recommend consolidating until supply lines catch up." Patton's reply arrived within the hour. "Acknowledged fuel shortage. However, German positions at Laurier and Saint-Nazaire remain unsecured. We intend to secure them before the enemy reinforces. We'll manage fuel later." Eisenhower read it and laughed, a weary, incredulous laugh. His forces were low on fuel, yet Patton was pressing the attack. Bradley asked, "Should we order him to halt?" Eisenhower considered the rules of logistics. Doctrine dictated halting, consolidating, waiting for supply lines, but Patton's momentum was unstoppable. "No," Eisenhower said at last, "let him keep going. Make sure every available fuel truck is directed to Third Army. Whatever he needs, he gets priority." Section 5. German Reaction, August 5, 1944. At the German 7th Army headquarters, General Paul Hauser studied intelligence reports with alarm. Patton's Third Army had surged 100 miles in just 4 days. "Impossible," he muttered. "No army can move this fast." The intelligence officer confirmed the reports. American forces had reached Rennes, nearing Brest, controlling key routes in Brittany. Patton's army was moving faster than expected. Hauser realized the implications. If Patton pivoted east, he could strike behind German lines within days. "Orders?" an aide asked. Hauser had few options. He could not defend every point. "Fall back," he said finally. "Establish defensive positions further east. We can't stop him, we can only contain him." Germany had lost the initiative. They were no longer attacking, they were reacting, and chasing Patton meant always being one step behind. Section 6. The Pivot, August 6 through 10, 1944. With Brittany mostly secured, Patton surprised the Germans. Instead of continuing west toward the ports, he turned his army 90 degrees east, driving straight toward Paris. "Sir, we haven't secured Brest or Laurier," his staff protested. "Those are major ports." "Ports don't matter if we end the war. Paris matters. Germany matters. We go east." Within 48 hours, over 200,000 men of Third Army surged eastward. Logistically, the maneuver was insane. Turning an entire army in motion 90 degrees should have caused chaos, traffic jams, supply failures, but Patton's staff made it work through sheer determination and improvisation. By August 10th, Third Army raced toward Le Mans, the Seine, and the German border. "How far can we go?" asked Patton's logistics officer. "You're beyond sustainable range," the logistics officer warned. "I didn't ask about sustainability," Patton replied. "I asked how far we can go. If we strip non-essentials, capture German supplies, and run every fuel truck non-stop, maybe to the German border," the officer said. "That's where we're going," Patton said. Section 7. Eisenhower's Dilemma, August 12, 1944. At SAEF, Eisenhower faced a command crisis. Patton's rapid advance threatened to outrun the entire Allied strategy. Bradley warned, "He'll be 75 miles ahead. His flanks are exposed." "What does Patton say?" Eisenhower asked.
"A good offense is better than a perfect defense. He wants to keep moving," Bradley replied. Montgomery, listening by phone, was furious. "This is madness. Supply lines stretched, flanks exposed." Eisenhower stared at the map. Arrows representing Patton's advance moved faster than the cartographers could update. Into the phone, he warned Patton, "You're ahead of schedule. Supplies are limited. Every principle says stop and consolidate." "I know, sir," Patton answered, "but the Germans are shattered. If we pause, they recover. If we push now, we can reach Germany before they rebuild. Risk is part of war. We take the tactical risk for strategic gain." Eisenhower closed his eyes. Patton was right. Opportunity existed, danger too. "I'm not ordering you to stop," he said. "Advance as far as fuel allows. The moment you can't sustain your position, halt. Understood?" "Understood, sir," Patton replied. Section 8, the Seine Crossing, August 19, 1944. Third Army reached the Seine weeks ahead of schedule. German defenses attempted to hold the far bank, but Patton didn't pause. Engineers improvised crossings. Tanks forded shallow points. Infantry used captured boats. Within 36 hours, major elements were across. A German commander muttered in disbelief. "He was 50 miles away yesterday. Now he's across the river?" Eisenhower received confirmation and called his staff. "Gentlemen, Third Army has crossed the Seine. We predicted mid-September. Patton is 4 weeks ahead. That means thousands of lives saved, city spared, months of suffering avoided." Section 9, Running on Fumes, August 25, 1944. The advance slowed, not from German resistance, but from fuel shortages. Patton's tanks were out of gas, divisions ground to a halt. "How long?" he demanded. 3 days, maybe a week," his quartermaster answered. "In a week, the Germans rebuild. We could be in Germany now." Patton fumed, immediately calling Eisenhower. "Sir, I need fuel. Every gallon you can spare. We're at the border and can't move." "I can't divert Montgomery's fuel, George," Eisenhower replied. Patton hung up, then turned to his staff. "Find every gallon. Capture enemy supplies, abandoned vehicles, anything. We're not stopping. Not now." Section 10, The Forced Halt, September 1944. Third Army stood on the German border, tantalizingly close to victory, but immobile without fuel. Patton visited the front to maintain morale. "We'll get fuel. When we do, we go all the way to Berlin." Privately, he wrote, "We could have ended this war by Christmas. We had them on the run. All we needed was fuel. This delay will cost thousands of lives." Section 11, Historical Verdict. Patton's August advance was staggering. 600 miles in 30 days, over 100,000 enemy prisoners, hundreds of towns liberated, dozens of German divisions disrupted. Casualties were remarkably low, thanks to speed. Historians agree he moved faster than Hannibal, faster than Napoleon, faster than any modern army. Germans were never able to predict his movements. One post-war German general said, "Montgomery we could handle. Patton, he was everywhere, nowhere, impossible to stop. Fighting him was like chasing a ghost." Eisenhower's 5 words captured it all. "Good God, he's already there." Patton's success was simple yet extraordinary. Audacity, aggressive leadership, improvised logistics, and relentless speed. He refused to accept that impossible meant impossible. When others hesitated, he surged forward. By August 1944, while other armies measured progress in miles per day, Patton measured it in miles per hour. Speed, in his hands, was not just an advantage, it was everything.